Hey everybody, I just got back from seeing the new Ridley Scott's version of Robin Hood, and before I went to go see the movie today, I watched a couple of the previews that had been up from other people that had went during opening night and over the course of the weekend. Simply because there have been a couple films that I have gone to see, for no other reason than I was bored or wanted something to do. And after I went into the film and after I got away from the film, I realized that perhaps maybe if I had done a little bit more research into what other people had seen and taken their perspective into consideration, I may have avoided it. Not that going to the film and doing something isn't a worthwhile investment, but still, the reviews that I had seen about this film tend to be a lot more negative than positive, which is a little confusing. But then again, a majority of those people that had something negative to say were disappointed with the fact that this version of Robin Hood, or the direction that Ridley Scott took Robin Hood in this film, didn't really stay true to the standing knowledge of what Robin Hood was in movies. As an example, if you were to go back to the Errol Flynn version of Robin Hood, or even so much as Kevin Costner's version of Robin Hood, which I really want to slap Kevin Costner for that film. But then again, when it comes to most films, Kevin Costner plays himself, so really, what more can you expect? But I think that all in all, the choices that Ridley Scott made for this character and the way that Robin Hood was presented in this film were a good choice. The idea behind this version of Robin Hood is it's about the man before the myth. It's about how the man becomes Robin Hood, how he moves into the role, what motivates him to become the hero of the people, the outlaw against the standing royalty. And I think it does a really, really good job of conveying what would motivate somebody to get to that point. One of the critiques that I had heard that it was too grim, that there wasn't any levity in the experience, and that his whole purpose was that he was a downtrodden man and it's wore away on his soul. I have to say I completely disagree with that observation. I think that the uh, the drive of the character, the drive of Russell Crowe as an actor portraying Robin Hood, I think is well displayed. I think that the overall motivation of what brought the man to becoming the outlaw was well defined, and I thought the story went along pretty good. Now, don't get me wrong, this isn't like an Oscar nominee movie, but then again, I think with movies like this, you really can't go in there expecting it to be anything more than what it is, which is an action movie. You're not going to get a lot of character development. You're not really going to get a lot of in-depth stuff that these kind of movies that don't portray. Action films are not about character development. They're not about history display. They're about things blowing up and people fighting and whatnot. But even with that, I think that some of the performances that the characters put in, I thought Kate Blanchett did a great job. Max von Sydow, he was one of the, I guess he was a supporting role. I think that he played a good part, and of course Russell Crowe. And the thing about Russell Crowe when it comes to his performances is that, depending on the film, it really is either a really well played character or it's simply just a matter of a guy with a sword or muscle. In this sense, or in this case, he was a character with a sword or a bow, and still portrayed a character, was able to portray a motivated man. So I think that he did a pretty good job overall. I don't think you'll be disappointed with the movie. When the movie was over, I was still expecting more, and I think that's a great demonstration of what the story was about. The story was about what brought the man to become the figure known as Robin Hood. So when the movie ends, you get the sense that this is where the life of Robin Hood moves forward. This is where the history of Robin Hood is forged. So all the stuff that happens up to the very end of the movie, I think it's all gives the story, gives the character a well defined history, so you understand the motivations of what brought the man to become the outlaw. I think you'll enjoy it. There isn't anything that was really outstanding about the film. I will say that I think they did a really great job of demonstrating just how powerful the longbow was as a weapon for England back in the 12th century. Back in those times, the longbow was the definitive weapon. It was the mark that changed the direction of battles. And I think when you see the first main battle, when King Richard the Lionheart's army is attacking this castle, and just the amount of arrows that are going back and forth, and how it affects the way that the battles work, I think that it really is demonstrated well in this film. So that's a thumbs up to the director and the film producers and all those guys. A really good choice in demonstrating why it's such an effective weapon and why it was used so much in battle. All in all, I think you guys will enjoy the film. If you decide to see it in a preview, or excuse me, if you go to see it on primetime, that's fine. And if you see it as a matinee, that's cool too. But I'm not the kind of guy that likes to go to a movie theater that's filled with people. You may enjoy that experience. I've had nothing but bad experiences in that. So personally, I would say, hey, if you can get it in a matinee, do so. A nice empty theater where there isn't assholes making a shitload of noise to distract you will really give you a chance to just enjoy the film for what it is. But if you don't mind the distraction, I honestly think that if you were to spend the $10 to see this film, you won't be disappointed. Go in expecting a cool Robin Hood story, getting to know the characters, and becoming attached in a different way than you are to the Errol Flynn version or the the Kevin Costner version if you actually respect that performance. And that's pretty much it. That's my opinion on the movie, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And I guess I will talk to you all later.